It is remarkable, isn't it, that Donald Trump was a hero of Oprah Winfrey, Barack Obama, Rosie O'Donnell, and pretty much every celebrity and wannabe celebrity from here to Tokyo in the spring of 2015. He'd been with so many celebrities, it's hard to even remember all of them. He dined with Bill and Hillary Clinton and did that on more than one occasion, and was celebrated as a great American by those on all sides of the political spectrum, from Rosa Parks to George W. Bush. Donald Trump was a quintessential American, an icon, really. His television series, The Apprentice, as you know, is far and away the #1 TV program in America and around the world for several years. Numerous books like The Art of the Deal or Think Big and Kick Ass had all risen to the envied status of New York Times bestseller. He was royalty. Donald Trump was royalty in America and about the best self-promoter anyone had ever seen. I mean, who the hell didn't want to be Donald Trump? He was the guy that made things happen, even when it was impossible. He was an American that Americans, no matter whether they were black or white, rich or poor, they looked at him with admiration. That is until that fateful moment when Donald Trump decided that he had seen too much, that his country was being screwed too often by too many, including other greedy Americans, that he decided he could not stand on the sidelines any longer. He could not just rake in piles of money and turn a blind eye to those who were taking advantage of our great nation. He was outraged by the arrogance of the European Union, NATO, and those on the other side of the field from Russia and China and Iran. He'd watched it for too long, talked about it for too long. He just couldn't keep quiet any longer. That fateful moment, you may remember, came on June 16th, 2015, when he declared, among other things, that he would build a great wall to protect us from the onslaught of illegal aliens pouring into our nation at the time. He looked America right in the eye, and the world too, and said this.
Sadly, the American dream is dead. But if I get elected president, I will bring it back bigger and better and stronger than ever before.
Oh, and from that moment forward, the body politic went apoplectic. Those that loved Donald Trump the day before screamed now he was a racist, a horrible human being. Hillary Clinton and her husband Bill, just off the plane of Jeffrey Epstein, coming home from a little R&R on the island, unleashed a relentless barrage of disparaging attacks. At first, they dismissed him as just an eccentric billionaire with little or no chance to even get more than a point or two from the voters. But soon they realized he was a dangerous political weapon, and he was coming for them, all of them. And it didn't matter if it was low-energy Jeb Bush or crooked Hillary Clinton. Trump had sharpened his sword, and he was on the move. By the time the politicos inside the Beltway and deep inside the bowels of the swamp realized he was coming for them, it really was too late. So instead of fighting him with conventional political weapons, they opened up the toolbox they'd been using since at least Richard Nixon's run in 1968. They smeared him as a racist and a guy who would certainly trigger World War III, but none of it was working. The panic was setting in, the swamp convulsing, and they knew the barbarian was at the gate and ready to bust through. They decided it was time to go all in, call in favors from those buried deep inside the entrails of the deep state, something they still try to deny actually exists, despite the overwhelming evidence that John Durham just dumped in the middle of the room just like rotting fish guts for all to see and for America and the world to smell.